broth from the lemongrass that I grew from my yard, lemon zest, roasted pumpkin seeds, butter, turmeric, onions, a whole lot of aromatics to just make like a kind of a broth, a real nice tea. And then I put the quinoa in there. And broccoli, right? And some roasted broccoli. So a little crunch, a little texture, and that's what like culinary experience is supposed to hit. All these notes, crunch, flavor, sour, sweet, tart, all the things, right? To give you a really great experience. So that's what I do with my events and my services.
Well, what's up, y'all? Hope you read the title there. It's your girl, Marquita Vegan, with the Pink Link Podcast. And so I'm awaiting my guest, Patrice Murray. I hope I said that right, at the All Purpose Vegan. And so we will be doing some discussion about, what she has going on and just things pertaining to vegan lifestyle living and women's health that I am excited to share with you all about my own personal journey and as well as she. So this video will also be posted to the Pink Link Podcast. So make sure you go over there if you haven't and subscribe. Or if you're on the Pink Link Podcast and you're watching this, make sure you go follow me on IG at Marquita Vegan and then at the Pink Link Podcast as well. I'm going to take a sip of my water while I'm awaiting my guests. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Me and this little plant, it likes to peek and I like it to be seen. I feel like it gives good aesthetics. So yeah, so today we're live. And I think on most Saturdays when people book, because I have like just Saturdays and Mondays for podcast recordings and recordings. I wanted to say two words in one, but recorders or recorded or I don't know, whatever. But I think they'll be more live or Zoom, and then Mondays I have them out and about. Lord's will. But hey, Zoom and live, keep it going, boo boo. Keep it going all over the world. Wherever they are, wherever I'm at, we can still get it done. So yes, and there she goes, All Purpose Vegan. So I'm gonna send a join request. Okay, I see it. I don't know, y'all. So she should be coming out shortly. Okay, there she go. Hey there, lady.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm awesome. And yourself?
I'm good. I've been running around the house for 30 minutes trying to find a quiet spot. There's kids running around. There's people cutting grass next door. Chainsaws going.
Everything just want to be on and popping today, huh?
Right. I'm like, oh my good. It was so quiet. And then as soon as I'm getting ready to set up, noise everywhere. So
That's how it be. Well,
just if you see a child, if you see anything pass through here, just ignore. I'm literally in a corner. Like there's nowhere for me to go.
Oh, wow. Well, the corner looks nice. I'm in the corner, too, so we both in some corners. Yeah. So, once again, I want to just say, for those who may just be joining, I'm Marquita Vegan, the host of the Pink Link Podcast, and today we have a guest, the All Purpose Vegan here, and so I'm definitely excited to get into this conversation with her today. So at the Pink Link, we have powerful, innovative, next level conversations with a K, because we fancy like that over here. And so I want my guest to introduce you all to who she is and more what she do. So I'm gonna give it over to you now. And Patrice, right? Because I was like, okay, because the All Purpose Vegan.
Yeah.
Hey to all who's joining.
So yes, I'm Chef Pat. I'm a vegan chef here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I came here about 6 years ago. I was just doing cakes, so that's all I used to do outside of my main job. I was just making birthday cakes and event cakes. COVID hit, pivot like everybody else, and I had decided to do a meal prep, so kind of like a pop up. I was on food, like different things, like everybody trying to figure out what to do. So that's how I got back into food. I come from a culinary background back in New York, went to culinary school, worked in a few restaurants, and I got away from the actual working in restaurants and things like that. So when I got to Atlanta, I was just doing cakes. But the COVID situation provided an opportunity to stop and pause and reevaluate what we were doing. And I just started cooking a little bit. And then in January, my birthday's in January, so last year, I was like, I really want to cook again, but I didn't know how to do it. So I would just cook at home, make these like nice videos and post them. And I said, well, we'll see what happens with it. And it just boomed. And it turned into catering, it turned into meal prep, it turned into private dining, and
Wow.
that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said it started back in New York?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm from New York.
Okay.
Went to culinary school 20 years ago.
So, okay. Let me ask you this. So when you started back in New York, you've been in Atlanta 6 years, right?
Yes.
And so back in New York, have you always been vegan, or how long have you been vegan? And that's your specialty cuisine, right? Is vegan foods and sweets.
Right. So there's been a few transitions. So I moved here with no special diet. I was eating whatever I wanted and baking whatever I wanted. Anything someone asked me to do, I would do it. 3 years, after I was here for like 3 years, I had started having some health issues. And it was like the normal stuff that Black people hear about, high blood pressure and cholesterol and these things. But I was only 30 something, that I don't know, 33, 34 at the time, or maybe 35. And I can't remember how old I was, but I was just like, high blood pressure. And like, I have heart disease in my family, like my mom, her mom, her sisters, like women have heart attacks in my family. And the doctors are trying to make me feel like that's just what it's gonna be, like that's a normal thing. That's just, that's what it is. It's in your family. And I was just like, I wasn't claiming that. I was like, I'm not about to be in my middle age popping pills every day and stuff like that. But I did ignore the warnings, and I kind of kept on eating meat and doing what I wanted to do. And then I got really sick from the high blood pressure, because when you ignore the things, the signs, your body starts to shut down. It starts to have all the alarms going off. And the blood pressure, I know a lot of people walk around with high blood pressure, but I couldn't take the pain. Like, it's painful. So, yeah, that's where I started. So I've heard from this community in Atlanta that you can change your health with your food. So initially I became vegan first because of my own health and my own health issues. That was the first one, was high blood pressure. So I think I went vegetarian for 6 months, and I noticed that I really wasn't eating anything besides cheese. So I stopped eating the cheese, and I saw a significant change in my health. Almost, I would say the month after I went vegan, the first thing I saw different was my menstrual cycle. Wow. It was easier, less days, more comfortable. I think at one point I wasn't using painkillers. So it was, so in your mind, you're thinking.
Let's tap into that.
Yeah.
Women's Month, and we're both women. And when you bring up your menstrual cycle, I reflect on mine. And for years as a teenager, honey, I want to say this to you all. I would have cramps so bad that I would miss days from school. Like, I couldn't go to school. It would be so heavy. However, I will say to you today, I have a cycle tracker now, because guess what? I don't know when my cycle may come on, because I don't have the cramps that I used to have. So I have to be prepared ahead of time, to not bleed through my pants. Just be honest, because of my lifestyle changes. And even now, I notice if I do get a little cramps, I notice the week of my cycle, if I just start eating more fruits and vegetables and things like that, and lay off the carbs or the beans and things like that, lighter, lit, and no cramping at all. Like, women, I kid you not, if you're having irregular periods or heavy periods, cramping and things like that, just as she said, make sure you tap into your diet. I would used to take, I would take ibuprofen like for the first 3 days straight, like back to back, like 8 hours up, 12 hours up. Let me tap another ibuprofen. I don't do that no more.
I think part of the issue, I mean, we could talk about Black people and in the medical system forever, but we just don't know what we don't know. So as little girls, getting our periods, eating all the junk and all the stuff, and on birth control pills, that part, that really didn't help us. We were just suffering. I was definitely suffering in high school, contemplating where, you know, you can't go to school, or you go to school, you got your head down on the desk all day. We just there. And this was normal. Yeah. It was normal. All my friends were going through it. All my classmates were going through it. It's her time, child. Leave that girl alone. She going through her time. And it was normal to teach. Like, it was normal. So now, 20-something years later,
it's not
at the time, to have an easy cycle.
And then the thing is, like, that, a lot of people still think that's normal, and it's not normal. To have a long, heavy, crampful, painful,
7,
like that is
8
not
days, heavy bleeding, cramping, doubled over in pain, bloating.
That's what you're supposed to be experiencing, but it's not. It's not.
Even when you think about it, at the age, like 15 years old is a baby. Why are you feeling like this? Wow. That doesn't even make sense, going through all of that pain. But yeah, when I switched to plant-based for my high blood pressure, the menstrual cycle, and my energy too, a lot of things changed. And then right after that, I learned, I don't want to say there's a wrong way or a right way to go vegan, but I had information. I didn't really seek out real true advice, and that's how I ended up in my other health issue. While I was vegan, I fell into awakening the fibroids that were already present by eating too much, consuming too much estrogen. And that comes from not educating myself about certain fruits and vegetables that can trigger fibroid growth. Yeah.
What? Okay, give us a little.
I can say, so I lived through my journey, but I know some people on here. Another chef, Tina Fuller, who that is her ministry, womb care,
okay,
and fibroids and all that stuff. So definitely, there's a link to how you feel, whether you're vegan or not. What you're consuming definitely affects all the systems in your body.
And that's what I tell people, like, a vegan is not a end all be all, because even me, I realized, like, I was trying to force beans on me, and I just told my daughter, I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to force myself to eat beans, because though I like beans, beans don't like me, and they have me bloated, and it just doesn't agree with my body. I'm not going to feel like I got to eat something for protein that is not good for me. I get it through another source. So
now you're talking about eating for your blood type, and that's where I'm at right now, learning that, because I had a major surgery in September, and now I'm literally just afraid of anything else happening, because just being vegan is not enough. You have to really research and look at what your body needs, what your body's missing. You know, what kind of environment do you live in? What are you exposed to? Are you in the sun? Are you eating organic fruits and vegetables? And even if you're like a carb vegan, like you eat a lot of processed stuff, or you just still eating meat, you know, I think for me, the end all to just kind of balance everything out is like throwing some raw food in your diet on the plate. A dry, like the salad, like don't put all the dressing on it, like just having your meal or having snacks throughout the day. You know, like whatever. So like you can't have beans, but can you have nuts? Can you have just a nice little Buddha bowl of raw stuff, like stuff like that? In my brain, it balances out the unknown things you got going on.
However, I can tolerate chickpeas.
Chickpeas is what did it for me. I love chickpeas, but chickpeas is I'm gonna say it definitely it provided the growth, because fibroids are there. They might be super tiny, you don't see them. Mine have been there for a very long time, but once I went vegan, my estrogen intake went up, and my carbs went up.
So
And
what was
you,
that made it go up? Like
I
tofu?
had a lot I had a lot of chickpeas around here because I was using the liquid from the chickpea to make a product, and so we always had excess beans.
Right.
So that bean, in addition to whatever else I was consuming, thinking I was doing great, was actually it was just too much of a good thing. That's basically what it is. So those beans have a lot
I get
higher estrogen, and there's some other things that we're not supposed. You should lessen. It's balance. You have
right.
to, if too much of a good thing can hurt you as well. That's basically what it is. It's a bean, right? You should be able
Water
to eat a
and
bean.
water is good for you, but you can't have too much water at one time.
Right. So that's another thing, the balance thing. I wasn't drinking the correct type of water. Didn't understand what real alkaline is, not just the bottles that say pH balance or whatever.
I see.
That's not real true. Alkaline water is spring water off stones, off a river. That's real energized
The mountain.
water that's going to provide your cells with the things they need, not drinking dead water.
And see, this ain't even good. It's it's purified. I usually do spring. I used to do my public spring water, but the best spring water is in that green glass, that Mountain Valley
Glass
spring water. Now I'm
bottle.
I try to at least get some, weekly, and I claim today I can buy cases and cases of time of it, because that's like almost $3 a bottle, and I'm abundant, so yeah.
Yeah, but see, like you see how you asking me, we're having a conversation about it. So I'll give the information. However, I don't beat myself up,
Right.
and I don't beat anybody else up. I allow myself grace, and we just do the best that we can.
Right.
And so yeah, I have water in a plastic bottle. Maybe tomorrow, hopefully, I'll have it in a glass bottle, or I'll have in the glass,
But
put some lime in it.
more glass than not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm not hard on myself, which is, I just came back from vacation, and when we go away, especially leaving the country, I'm always concerned about, it's gonna be a hunt for food, or I did not get any good water at all. We had bottled water, and that's what I drank. But I just know that when I come home, there's a process. I have to do a detox. I have to do a couple of things to kind of get back on track. So.
Because that's the thing, like you do want to be informed, and you do want to take the steps and the measurements because when you know better, you do better. However, it's like you don't want to feel like you can't live life because you can't just control it all the time, especially when you're traveling. You may have to settle for some iceberg lettuce and some tomatoes and cucumbers that's not organic, or either go on your fast for 24 hours. You got to choose,
Because we just came back from Dubai.
Right.
Definitely, I ate vegan the entire time.
Right.
But
I
didn't cook the food. I didn't cook the food. It's rich, it's heavy, and I'm not gonna lie. I think there was some milk in my food, some like the sauces somewhere here and there. Because if it don't taste like coconut to me, then I'm like, okay, this might be camel's milk or whatever they use. I'm not gonna beat myself up about that. I'm gonna purposely make sure I don't have that. But
exactly.
I'm in another country. I'm on the other side of the world. However, I've been posting my whole experience over there, and I do have like 2 food reels to post about. I was able to eat vegan over there, so.
Right.
But traveling, that's a whole nother. Because the airports do not care. The airports in this country don't care. I got vegan food in Amsterdam's airport and Paris airport. We were transferring. I found vegan food. But in Atlanta, Hartfield, they don't care.
Right.
Nothing.
I said that but
Nothing.
a lot of times I just get me some oranges and some apples and something. I put them in my purse because they have all those restaurants, but they don't have no vegan restaurant up. And I'm like, vegan needs to be up here somebody. Chipotle.
Yeah. You gotta, and like this trip actually, it taught me I have to plan eating because my mom, she know better. She tried to come back here with fruits. I'm like, you can't bring no fruits into the country. You supposed to eat that on the plane or wherever. So they took her stuff.
I bring fruits because I've always taken fruits.
when you're leaving the airport, they'll take your stuff from you if they see it, if you declare it or whatever. So she had a big bag of oranges, and we had come from two countries already. So they was like, you can't keep them oranges. We don't know they don't know if it came from a store. I don't know. I think she bought it actually from a vendor, not a store, which they was like, no. So they took her stuff from her. But even from Puerto Rico, we went to Puerto Rico, and I had a grocery store mango, and I had a big old soursop, but I knew they might try to take it. So I was eating it the day before. The mango and the other fruit, the FDA is at Puerto Rico airport. They took all my stuff from me. They didn't care. They took everything from me. So it just depends. Like, I think you can have your stuff up until you're trying to leave the airport. You go through customs. If you've crossed they do that. I heard they do that in Hawaii too. So it don't matter if you were still in American territory. You cross the ocean, they taking your fruit. So eat your stuff before you leave the airport.
So let me ask you this right fast. So is the fruit better over in other countries?
Yes. The fruit could be good here too, but the fruit in other countries is absolutely like, oh my goodness. Even in Dubai, like the stuff, I had some fruit that came to my room, and I don't think they grew it there, but those other countries, they're getting their produce from their neighboring countries. So, like, for example, their bananas are not our bananas. You know, their apple, they had like regular stuff that we eat, but I had like a little, I don't even know what this little purple thing was. I don't even know. I was eating all kind of crazy stuff, but some of it grows there, and some they probably imported from some neighboring countries, or some other areas that are close by. But it's definitely better, because if you look, okay, here's a perfect example. I went to McDonald's. I haven't eaten at McDonald's in I don't know how long. I ate at McDonald's in Amsterdam in the airport because they had vegan options. I mean, like salad, not like a processed. I think I had a chicken sandwich, but it wasn't like a sandwich with fries. I had a sandwich with a big salad with fresh vegetables and cranberries and carrots and nuts. It had like sunflower seeds in it at McDonald's, that was an experience. I was actually excited to. There was the Euro McDonald's. They have all kinds of things.
Wow.
So
yeah.
And then also to your question about the fruit, you go to another country, the tree is right there, and you just get to pull it off the tree. Like, that's the best, freshest thing you could possibly get, as opposed to going to a grocery store here, and it's pulled young and hadn't developed yet, so it hasn't been absorbing the sun. If you pull something off a tree, you're absorbing the sun, you get all the nutrients, so all of that's going into your body, eating life, not death.
Girl, you making my water thinking about pulling off a fruit off the fruit tree or something, girl.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna look down. Apologies, y'all, but I want to make sure I get some questions that I had for you. So we did go over one. So you said you used to be the sugar dealer. So you're no longer doing that, and you transitioned into the vegan supper club. So can I ask why you're no longer the sugar dealer? What's behind that?
It's really alignment, honestly. I don't eat processed sugars. I really don't. I don't eat candy. I don't eat processed sugars. And I realize I don't consume food coloring. And so the two things were event cakes, birthday cakes, and also my wholesale vegan French macaroon cookies. I was selling those cookies to 3 restaurants for like 2 years. And they just came out with this story about the food coloring causing cancer, causing all this stuff. And I was using that to put in the cookies. And I was just like, oh, okay. I was trying to stop doing wholesale anyway. But the sugar, the food coloring, that's sugar is crack. Sugar is the death of our nation. Sugar is the worst thing ever.
And when you say sugar,
I just cannot be a part of.
Can you hear me? I don't want to cut you off. Mm-hmm. But when we say sugar, we got to be more specific, because people think just, but sugar is rice, the carbs, the potato chips, bread, all those things that I am now like. Another thing I feel like my body don't need, and I'm transitioning more back into an alkaline place than before. I'm not gonna say 100% alkaline right now, or maybe I should be saying that. However, I know that, as you're saying, and finish what you were saying about the sugar, it is not good
White
for no
sugar, processed sugar, even some of the brown sugars, I don't really use them like that. So I even incorporate that belief into my meal prep. So my meal prep is a lot of ancient grains. It's a lot of, this is the second time I'm doing meal prep. It's for a smaller group of people. We don't do white rice at all. We do a little bit of potato, but it's very like ancient grain, very conscious thinking. I'm really putting a lot of intention into the foods. So quinoa, your farros, like those type of rice things. I might throw a treat in there here and there. I might do macaroni and cheese or lasagna or something, but it might be gluten free.
For you.
Yeah, like I'm literally feeding people the way I eat,
Right.
as well as the Supper Club. So the Supper Club, so yeah, I'm a vegan vibe dealer now. That's the way I would put it.
Vegan vibe. Okay, I love that.
Yeah, it's basically, I want to say I do, so I don't do catering. It's I'm a private chef as well. But the events that I've been putting on since November, it's like very exclusive, intimate, high-end culinary experiences that vegans need. We don't have that in Atlanta. We certainly don't have anything Black-owned like that. And we deserve nice things. Like, that's what I've been saying for like almost a whole year now. We deserve nice things. And that's what I do. So I do private dinners. That's the Supper Club. So I put it on every month. They used to be sometimes, but they used to be at Airbnb. So it move around a mansion with sometimes entertainment. It would be full, like 5, 6, 7 courses, butler service, vegan wine pairing, vegan wine from Sip and Shares. So amuse bouche when you come in, all of the things, because it's just an elevated culinary experience that just happens to be vegan. I would partner with like certain companies. We would use like a steak option, because honestly, the people that are doing my cooking lessons and attending these dinners and these events, a lot of them are not even vegan. Wow. So because of that, I try to be gentle on, I don't make sure everything tastes delicious, and I don't want to serve grass because they think we eat grass. But I'm just trying to make sure that everything tastes really good and they enjoy it. And they love it. I have a few people that have been to several of my events. They are not, one, I think the wife is vegan, the husband, he's saying he's not vegan, but at this point, like, he comes to all of our stuff, so he might as well come on over, you know. So we have this next event that's coming up March 17th, is going to be our second event in Buckhead on Peachtree Road. So I'm in the street curbside restaurant, in the actual restaurant that used to be original House of Pancakes. It has a new owner, and I have been so blessed to be able to use this space, the kitchen, the dining room, whatever. And March 17th, we'll be in there with a vegan social. So I'll be dealing vibes and food. I got 2 people coming in. I got my mixologist that has a vegan wine that wine will be pouring, vibes will be pouring. It'll be a Friday night situation. You just come in, it's kind of chill. I'm also going to be showcasing my food, so people have the opportunity to talk to me about what it is that I'm doing. They can book me for their own private event, or just keep on attending my events that I put on.
Wow, that sounds amazing. The Pink Lady might need to be trying to be up in there. I know I'm coming back from Chicago that same week. Okay. So we talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, you need to come through. It's going to be good. It's actually sold like half. I haven't even promoted it that much, and it's actually it's half sold out. I know you did stuff for Valentine's Day. You remember I was in your inbox, like, stalking you. Yeah, and those repeat customers, they was like, I was trying to can I come? And I'm like, y'all know it's only 12 people. And I had an extra spot because someone couldn't make it. And they was on there. They was in that DM. They was like, I was like, man, so much for that. They was on it. They just cashed it. They sent that money. They was like, we want those tickets. So, but this one is going to be at least minimum 40 people. So there's definitely room for more people to come and sample and just hang out, meet.
we just bringing people together. It's so cool. The thing I love about that is that we bringing people together that don't know each other over vegan food, and then leaving it like as friends, as connected or whatever. They had a good time. It was a kiki. People exchanging phone numbers. People linking up later on to do business, to do whatever. So I really love the opportunity to put this together. I don't know. I'm glad that I was blessed with the idea to even push forward with it.
Yes, I'm glad that you was blessed with the idea and pushed forward with it and just implementing and still doing. So blessing to see, and I'm definitely gonna be a part. Hopefully, I can attend that one Friday. You said it's Friday, March the 17th.
Yep.
Yeah.
8:00 in Buckhead. Yep.
Okay. So we got some questions from our audience that was sent in, and so we're gonna ask you that before we get ready to close this out today. So how can you meal prep meals that isn't boring but are easy and tasty? That's one of the questions from my audience.
Okay, first of all, people, like, we got to season our vegetables. We got to season our salads. Like, we ain't got to be put some seasoning on that thing. You know, all the seasoning that we use on the meat meals, those are vegan. So just put them on your vegetables. So that's first thing. But to do your meal prep, okay, this is what I do with my meal prep. I pick certain things. So let's say I'll really just look at 5 days, not so much 7 days, because the meals you might end up with an extra. So the thing that I might do that make it easy and tasty is pick something like sweet potato. So I take a sweet potato, you roast that, cut it up, and you can divide that into how many meals you want to put it in. And so let's say you get one big potato into 3 meals, and then you want to add to that. You just kind of build on it. So you decide to take different. So let's say the next thing you use is broccoli, but you only put it in 2. So like you season everything to perfection, to what you love, and you just kind of divide those things up. So like now some meal preps, I know people do eat something every single day the same. I don't get that. I like to have different things, but you can just switch up. So let's say on this bowl you might have broccoli, sweet potato, and mushrooms, and then another day you might have sweet potato, black beans, corn, and cauliflower. On another day, you might have the same mushrooms, but maybe you're doing it with peppers and onions and a fajita. So I kind of do it that way. So I'll take like one thing and make it into 2 things, and by the time you get to the end, they're all different. So you might end up with 3 to 4 different plates or bowls throughout the week. And you just gotta season it. And the way you can like switch it up is with like sauces.
Well,
sauces
before you
like,
some did ask, what are 3 sauces that can go with some of your meals? Like, what are 3 sauces that you would say for your go-to meals?
So just for me personally, I do like to just take a fresh lime or something like that and kind of like squeeze it over my plate. That just changes the whole flavor of your meal. But as for sauces, I'm privy to my beet vinaigrette dressing. It's supposed to be for my salads, but that dressing just be hitting, and it can go on any vegetable or whatever. It's like a bright red. I love that dressing, and it's literally lemon, like grapeseed oil, salt and pepper, blended with beets. The beets bring this earth, and it has agave in it as well. And the beets just bring this earthiness that it just brings it all together. Another sauce that I like, bang bang sauce. That's good for like your little fried things and stuff like that. So like your mayo, your sriracha, your chilies, peppers in there, and some agave or maple syrup, and just hit that. Add that, dip your little vegetables in that. And another sauce is
in there.
Yes, absolutely. And another sauce I love is a curry sauce. So I know like curry is traditionally Asian or Caribbean, but I can throw a curry sauce. Like if I'm cooking my vegetables, like throw a whole pot, sauteing, stir frying. If you hit that, they already have oil in it or butter or something, but if you hit that with some fresh coconut milk and a little curry powder, you got a whole little situation. You got a little gravy for your vegetables.
Right.
So that's like, I like to, because I don't, see, that's my thing. I got to learn how to measure properly because I be doing this ancestor thing where we just be like, hit, 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 hit. Yeah. So, yeah.
Mm. Well, girl. So, okay. And a last question from the audience is, what are some high protein, low carb meals that you would recommend to build muscle?
I would say, okay, so then I don't know about meals. So okay, so now that I've been vegan, especially now this last year, I would say I eat more in these little handful portions. So like so for me, I'll start with almond yogurt with fruit, with some sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds and granola. And all my meals after that, maybe dinner might be bigger, but then like in between that, you could have like chia pudding, overnight oats or something. And you don't add sugar to none of this stuff. It's just the seeds and the milk or whatever in that, and then you can have your Buddha bowl. So the Buddha bowl can be roasted vegetables, roasted tofu, a little light lemon, lime, some kind of dressing on there. So I'll go crazy for roasted vegetables. So I can make that could be a snack for me. Because you make it into a small portion. So roasted chickpea, I can eat chickpeas now. I can eat anything I want now after I had the surgery. But like roasted chickpeas, roasted beets, what else you put in there? The sweet potatoes, maybe some raw like sliced up rubbed kale. I love raw kale and all of that stuff like that. So like those things, yeah.
Let me ask you this about kale right fast, because I love raw. I try to mimic Tassili's kale wrap. So how do you massage your kale to get it tender? Is there like a science behind it?
I think I think also sometimes it works better with certain kind of kale. Just buy fresh kale that's not in the bag. So go to like DK Market, go to the grocery store, or whatever. Get fresh kale that's not chopped up in the bag. Like those things, I don't know, they're like old to me. They look like hard, they're big, all that fiber and stuff in there. So get like good, I think DK Market sells Georgia kale too. But get your kale, and young kale is good with that as well. You can get the baby kale. So you need to decide what your flavor profile is, what you're looking for. So if you want the lemon, or are you looking for something else? But vinegar and the lemon is what will break down the kale, and then you add in your seasoning and your oil, a little bit of oil on it, and that it starts to break it down immediately. So it doesn't make it mushy. It just kind of it's a massage.
Okay.
It like makes it a little bit more pleasant for the bite. So just a light massage. You don't even need that much, really. Right. As soon as you get on there, you get your hands in there and massage it, it starts to break down just enough that it's pleasant to eat. And you don't even have to cook it.
Wow. Well, thank you. And so you got to let the people know how they can find you. And before you do that, though, one last thing in short, because my phone's my 20% when I had it charged. But in short, what would you tell someone who is looking to, live out their life purpose and just watching you doing so? What would you say to that person today?
Okay. Allow yourself some grace, because I am 42 years old, and now I have never felt more clear. I've never felt more clear about what it is, because you don't know at 18, we don't know at 25, we don't know at 30 sometimes what it is we're trying to do. And now it seems to make sense to me. Life is lifing. And I think even when you figure out what it is you want to do, whatever your passions are, just like try and do it and be true to that, because no one can do what you can do, how you can do it. Whatever's for you is for you. So you should just go ahead and try and do those things at any age. And we can always learn. We can always be amazing. You always find your gifts, always find your passions, and do those things. Those things, I mean, me doing this now, I've been full-time, self-employed over 3 years now, 3 years. And it's just, even with the highs and lows of that, the stresses of being an entrepreneur, I absolutely love it because this is all I've been doing since I was 16. My first job was selling shoes, and I'm a service person, selling clothes and cooking food, and this is all I have never done anything else is help people, serve people, and this is my ministry. This is what I do. And so I'm like, okay, how can I build my service work around my life that it just all works together harmoniously? So that is it. I would say, I would say, yeah, definitely find your passion and just stick with that, because God put that on your heart. So
Amen.
yeah, do that.
And if God gave it to you, He'll get it through and out of you. So hey, go with it.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's amazing. What else I was gonna say? Oh, I said it. I was telling you before I told you that. I was like, make sure you tell them about the Vegan Supper Club
Oh,
and how to reach
yeah.
with you.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm at the All Purpose Vegan on Instagram. My website is www.allpurposevegan.com. I sell all our tickets and our events, everything through our webpage. And we announced the supper club's name is Grazing Goats. If you might see that, that's its own separate page where I kind of just focus on that. All Purpose Vegan is me, my travels, my classes. I like to share. Um, I just love to share and be very transparent about what's going on. And so that's what All Purpose Vegan is. And our next event coming up is March 17th at 2964 Peachtree Road. It's a vegan social, vegan vibe. We'll have some beverages, some drinks. We'll have a whole food review. So you'll get to sample some of my dishes that you can, inquire about having me come and cater your own event for your own situation, your own business. If sometimes I have people, wanting me to come and do their grand opening and stuff like that, or just a birthday. You want me to come cook for you? I'll do that as well. So if you're interested in vegan food, gourmet vegan food, and a culinary experience that's a little bit elevated, then you might want to come out March 17th and check us out.
Wow. And yeah, I've seen some videos. Hopefully she send me one. I know she is, so I can definitely add to this episode so that you all can just get an idea of what she means when she say upscale culinary vegan dining at its finest. You hear me? So that you can be in touch with her and enjoy the experience. Like if you're out of town or you plan to visit to Atlanta, you vegan, you want to be on the lookout and stay in the loop. So make sure you follow her at the All Purpose Vegan and check her out. And like always, I like to say before we close out, you are great, and the life that you desire, you create. So go out and create.
I love that.
Thank you, girl.
Okay.
Yes. So it's definitely been a pleasure, and I thank you for coming on the Pink Link, girl. And
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So I wish we could have did it in person because I just love your energy and your vibe and all those things. But
yeah, if we did it in person, I would have brought you some food.
yes, that's why I said I need to, but we'll have to talk about that. Coming to that place, you're doing it on the 17th. We'll have to discuss it or another time so that I can get the scope and thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
okay.
Food. Yes. So, okay, y'all.
Yeah,
We're gonna
as you
sign
all can
off.
see, I made it out to her event on
Okay.
the
Bye.
17th. There's bread
Bye.
there.
Thank
There is
you. See you soon.
corn
Alrighty,
grits.
see you.
There's the egg rolls, and you always see like what I said, like that curry shrimp, the phenomenal kiwa she was mentioning in the beginning. This lamb and potatoes, which was awesome as well. And yes, I'm trying to get the picture of the words of the meal. So that's the vegan lamb. That's the quinoa. And that is the egg rolls once again. And the curry shrimp. Everything was delicious, you all. Make sure you go out and support the All Purpose Vegan. This is some of the crowd. This is not all of the crowd. There's some more people in the next one.
So y'all, we at Vegan Social Super Club, and here's one of the guest attendees tonight. So how was everything? What was your favorite?
My favorite was the corn ribs and the lamb. And for someone who hasn't eaten red meat in over 5 years, it was a pleasant surprise. It tasted exactly like I remember lamb tasting. It was flavorful. It was something that non-vegans wouldn't even realize they were missing. And everything was flavorful. You would not expect vegan to be this delicious. So good job.
Oh wow, great. And you, sir?
Well, I am the corporate dropout, and for me, it was just a feast for the taste buds. I really enjoyed everything. I will say the shrimp was a standout for me. I enjoyed the lamb, I enjoyed the egg rolls, I enjoyed the quinoa, which was made with lemongrass from her own garden. But I will definitely say that the egg rolls, the shrimp, and the corn were number one for me. Great job.
Yummy. I enjoyed everything y'all enjoyed, so yes. And so, how was everything for you tonight?
It was delicious, very, very good. She did really good.
What was your favorite?
The wine was perfect.
Oh yes, we gotta plug the wine in there too. What was your favorite?
My favorite was the egg roll, to be honest.
That was mine too, yes. Yours, sir? What was your review?
And I liked it, I really liked the shrimp the most. I really enjoyed everything though.
Okay, so that was your favorite?
Yeah, the shrimp, most definitely the shrimp.
Okay, so out of 10 out of 10, y'all recommend?
Yeah,
Okay.
11 out of 10.
Oh wow, that's awesome, that's awesome. Okay, ladies, so how was everything for you tonight?
Everything was great. My favorite was the kale. That was
Yes.
awesome. And then I think my next favorite was the egg rolls. Those were really good. It was nice and crispy. It was a lot of vegetables on the inside, but I really liked it. It was great. And this is my first time coming to the vegan pop-up, so I am all the way impressed.
Yes, and you, lady?
That was amazing. I think my favorite was definitely the curry shrimp. I love the curry flavor. That was really, really good. It's my first time as well, and I'd love to be back.
Good job, enjoy. Thank you. Okay, so lady, how was everything for you tonight?
Hi, so everything was absolutely wonderful. I actually have an olive allergy, so some of the food that I had to be a little modified, but I had the quinoa, which was absolutely amazing. That's the one which she used her own lemongrass that she grew out of her own garden. I had the shrimp, which was kind of like a curry, and I had egg rolls. I'm a huge fan of egg rolls. These did not disappoint. I highly recommend coming out and at least trying something from All Purpose Vegan. Even if you're not vegan like me and you just like to have a good palate of food, this will be a great place for you to try.
Yes, thank you. So here we go with these beautiful ladies here. So who wanted to go first? How was your night?
Hey, oh my gosh. So I am not vegan, and I came because I'm like dating Atlanta and wanted to try something new. And I gotta tell you, like, my plate is almost empty. It shocked me how like good and flavorful, and I'm like full.
Yes.
I think I may convert now to vegan.
Okay, we got a conversion over here.
Hey everybody, I just want to shout out to the chef. She did a wonderful job. Everything is delicious. The egg rolls, that's it. So if you haven't tried her cooking, come out. We're ready for dessert. That's what happened.
Yes.
So I told him about the dessert. It's my second plate.
Oh wow.
So Chef Pat is awesome. Her food is awesome. We're waiting for the dessert. I can't even say it because it's so good. I'm just thinking about it. My mouth is watering because of the non-dessert. Everybody's talking about this dessert that's coming next. But phenomenal food. The food is always superb. Like, I love her food. And everything was really good tonight.
It was great. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Welcome. Hey ladies. Did everyone enjoy? What was your favorite? Name a favorite.
The kale salad,
The kale.
the egg rolls, and the kale, and the corn.
Oh wow. Egg roll is winning.
And the lamb and the kale.
Okay.
The lamb was amazing.
Yes. Okay, ladies. Thank y'all. Okay, you all. So the
dessert has came out, and I gotta tell you the truth because I already took a bite, and so I was like, oh, I have to review this because it is so delicious, you all. This is like a mousse, a chocolate mousse or something like that, but we're gonna cut this short because I'm about to enjoy it.